Nicki Minaj has once again ignited the internet with a fiery, unapologetic rant, this time zeroing in on none other than the chart-topping, soulful singer SZA. The outburst, which quickly spiraled across social media, wasn't subtle or cryptic. It was as direct and personal as anything Nicki's ever shared publicly. And fans are still trying to wrap their heads around what exactly triggered such a visceral reaction. On Wednesday afternoon, Minaj took to X, formerly Twitter, in what appeared to be a no-holds-barred call-out session, targeting SZA for past tweets that seemingly shaded other powerhouse women in the music industry, including Beyoncé and Rihanna, among others. Minaj, known for her fierce lyrical prowess and equally ferocious social media presence, didn't mince words in a lengthy and aggressive post that many described as both shocking and unfiltered. BTCH used to be on Twitter dissing Rihanna, SZA, etc. But then when it was time to suck zick and get opportunities from them, she drew them freckles on and got to sucking, right? Allegedly, Minaj wrote. The tone was unmistakably confrontational, layered with personal jabs and cryptic allegations about SZA's rise to fame and industry relationships. Like, bitch, stop being jealous of women who you secretly would kill to be up their assholes. These men putting batteries in y'all's backs, and y'all stupid enough to still keep it going, not peeping that it's not going to end well for them or you. Buzz off, Bumblebee. What followed was even more unexpected. Instead of letting that initial outburst stand on its own, Minaj doubled down, reposting a fan's thread that compiled screenshots of SZA's old tweets, the very posts that Minaj was referring to. These resurfaced tweets appeared to include critical or dismissive remarks about Beyoncé, Ciara, and Rihanna, all women who have since become either collaborators or symbolic peers in the industry to SZA. Sharing the fans' compilation, Minaj commented, like, do you know the level of inside hate for yourself you had to be this much of a CNT for no reason to the women you later worked with? Now want to act like you AMTHFKN tarot card BTCH quit. What an odd little weirdo. The timeline of events was dizzying. Just a day earlier, fans had been left confused but intrigued when SZA, known for her ethereal online presence and astrological musings, posted a tweet that read, Mercury retrograde. Don't take the bait, lol, silly goose. At first glance, it seemed harmless. Perhaps a vague reference to the chaotic energies often associated with Mercury retrograde. But Nicki Minaj clearly interpreted the tweet as a subtweet aimed in her direction, or perhaps an indirect jab that only insiders could decode. Her response was nothing short of explosive. Go draw your freckles back on Bookie. Hashtag justice for DeMarie. Hashtag deposition Perez. Liar liar pants on fire. Sounding like a FKNG dead dog. The mention of justice for DeMarie and deposition Perez seemed to reference deeper, more personal or legal matters that the public hasn't been fully clued in on, at least not yet. Whether these cryptic hashtags refer to unresolved feuds, behind-the-scenes betrayals, or industry power plays is still a topic of heated speculation. One thing is clear. Minaj's anger wasn't random. She seemed to be holding on to a narrative she believed had long gone ignored or swept under the rug. By the following morning, fans were hungry for more information. The internet was ablaze with theories, hot takes, and meme reactions. Many were stunned, not just because of the public nature of the feud, but because Nicki and SZA had never before been perceived as enemies. Their fan bases had significant overlap. They had both reached the heights of stardom with unique, often genre-defying sounds. One was the queen of rap, the other a genre-blurring R&B goddess. To see them clash so openly felt like a cultural earthquake. That morning, the Breakfast Club's Lauren LaRosa stepped in with what appeared to be an insider's perspective. During the live broadcast, LaRosa revealed that she had reached out directly to Terrence Punch Henderson, the president of Top Dog Entertainment TDESZA's label, hoping to get some clarity on where this feud might have originated. According to LaRosa, Punch said that back in 2020. Nicki Minaj had reached out in hopes of securing a feature from SZA for a song. Punch allegedly responded and informed Nicki that SZA was deep in album mode and therefore unavailable at the time. According to him, the conversation ended there. No follow-up, no bad blood, at least not on their end. Feature didn't happen, La Rosa recalled him saying, but he says he's lost after that as well. The revelation added a new layer of confusion and complexity to the situation. Was Nicki harboring resentment over a rejected collaboration? Was she misled about the reasons behind the no? Or was there a deeper, more personal grudge stemming from private interactions fans weren't privy to? It's not unusual for artists to take professional snubs personally, especially in an industry that thrives on loyalty, perception, and alliances. But Nicki's rage seemed too visceral to be solely about a feature that didn't materialize. There had to be more under the surface. What made the saga even more perplexing was that this wasn't an isolated incident. In recent weeks, Nicki Minaj had also taken aim at other major figures in the industry: Jay-Z, Megan Thee Stallion, and more. Each attack seemed to follow a similar pattern: vague tweets, pointed accusations, and long-winded posts filled with layered references that only true insiders or extremely online fans could begin to decode. It appeared Nicki was in a phase of radical transparency, unmasking what she perceived as betrayals, fake alliances, and hypocrisy in the music world. And it wasn't limited to private messages or subtle disses. She was dragging receipts, dropping names, and inviting the world to see what she saw as the truth. This approach, however, has divided fans and observers. On one hand, some applauded Minaj for speaking out. They argued that the industry was full of snakes and opportunists, and that Nicki, having been in the game for well over a decade, had every right to call out what she considered injustices. Others, though, felt her behavior was erratic, harmful, and unnecessarily divisive. Why go after fellow Black female artists? Why now? Why like this? SZA, for her part, has not directly responded to the attacks, at least not in the same tone. While her astrology-themed tweet could have been a passive swipe, it didn't mention Nicki directly. And since the blow-up, she's gone quiet, leaving fans to wonder if she's intentionally staying above the drama or if she's hurt by the confrontation. Silence, in this case, speaks volumes. And therein lies the challenge with celebrity conflicts. In the digital age, what once might have been handled in private through managers, publicists, or legal teams is now front and center on social platforms, with fans acting as spectators, jurors, and participants. Every retweet or cryptic post becomes ammunition. Every silence, a statement. For artists like Nicki Minaj, who have mastered the art of social media warfare, these platforms offer a stage to air grievances in real time, but the cost: reputations, relationships, and peace of mind. In the case of Minaj versus SZA, the stakes feel particularly high. Both women are deeply influential, not just in music but in culture. SZA's SOS was one of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful albums of the decade so far. Nicki, despite controversies and fluctuating chart performances, remains one of the most iconic figures in rap history. Their platforms reach millions. Their words carry weight. A feud like this doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It reverberates. And then there's the question of the old tweets themselves. In today's era, where cancel culture and digital accountability are ever present, resurfaced tweets from years ago can derail careers, destroy reputations, and spark social reckonings. If SZA did once post negatively about Beyoncé or Rihanna, artists she now seems to admire and align with, should that be held against her forever? Was it youthful ignorance? A misguided attempt to be edgy? Or does it hint at something more layered: insecurity, internalized misogyny, or industry bitterness that has since been resolved or outgrown? Minaj's decision to weaponize those old tweets now, years after they were originally posted, raises ethical questions as well. Is it fair to dredge up someone's past just to prove a point in the present? Or is Nicki merely doing what many in the industry do, playing chess, not checkers, and reminding everyone that memory is long and the internet never forgets?